Hello, it's Oliver here for another sports code breakdown. This time we're doing Arizona State versus Kansas. At the time this was an upset, mainly because Kansas doesn't really lose at Allen Fieldhouse at all. Arizona State was unbeaten at the time. I think they've lost 2 games now to Colorado and Arizona. But they're certainly a surprise of the season, and this was probably a surprise game in that, yeah, they won. So let's look at some stats. Again, the link to a walkthrough of how this output and the corresponding code window is in the description, and my email if you want me to send it to you or any questions about it. So first thing that I want to point out again is 3-point percentage, 50% to 37%. Kansas had a lot of really good quality looks on the left corner, 10 shots there, 90% quality, so 90% of them were good quality shots. And they only made 3 of them, and we've got some clips of that later on. Another thing I want to point out is the turnovers. These are unforced errors or unforced turnovers, and steals. They were equal amount of steals, but it's the result of those steals, the points off steals, that are very interesting. There's no stat for that I've got, but there's some video to go along with those that's very interesting. The other thing I want to point out is the difficulty or the quality of the shots that Arizona State made inside or within the 2-point zone, so 25%. It's very low. Again, we've got some clips of that. Arizona State made some just crazy shots. I think there were multiple times during this game where I kind of audibly gasped or giggled to myself at how crazy some of these shots were, so those are quite interesting. The final interesting thing is the third and fourth quarter. How much of a swing there was in between those quarters. The third quarter really won Arizona State the game. This game was full of momentum swings. I think the first few minutes, Kansas went on like a 12-2 run, and then Kansas went on a 12-2 run, and then Arizona went on like a 10-0 run. It just kind of flipped in between. But this quarter, 27-13, excluding free throws. If you look just at the shooting percentages, it kind of really shows you. 3 of 8, so 38% from 3 for Arizona State, only 17% for Kansas. All shooting, 63% for Arizona State, only 38% for Kansas. So that's kind of like the big difference. So let's get into some video. So the first, I want to show you some ASU stuff, or this is one of their sets. The thing that kind of you'll notice, like a common theme throughout these clips, is speed and how much speed Arizona State has. They were just so quick. I don't know if that's because Kansas is so big and so slow, or Arizona State is so quick, but I'm going to favor the latter. Their bench players, they all wear guard U, or like one of those cool cheesy labels that they give the university guard U. I don't know if what a center wears, that they might feel a bit silly wearing guard U tops, but they do have a lot of guards, Arizona State, and they're very quick. So this is one of their plays they use just to get momentum. Number 0, Trey Holder, who's probably one of their best players, 22 points per game as of recording this, takes the screen off number 35, Daquan Lake, and kind of just rolls right to the basket. It's going to go to that one again. He brings the forwards of Kansas out, and you can just run right past him for a contested but easy layup in the end. Some Kansas fans get in the way, but it's the same thing. Getting a head of steam off a screen. Passes out to the wing, where number 44, Cody Justice, is, and he banks in 3. So let's go into that last one again. High screen by the center to get out the Kansas bigs. Pass it out to the perimeter after collapsing. Easy 3-point shot. Now I'm just going to go through a series of montages now, basically, of just Kansas being fast. They've got really good guards that kind of just ran past the Kansas big men, Kansas centers and forwards. And just in different contexts. Here's just an open play, or open half-court sets. So the 3 kind of people who did this were the 3 guards that played the most. So here we've got Trey Holder with the ball. He passes it out to number 11, Shannon Evans. So Shannon, he averages about 17 points per game as I record this. Trey is about 22 points per game. And the guy off the ball now, freshman Remy Martin, he averages 10 points per game. Just want to go over that last one again. Just like how quick these guys are. Right past Kansas for a difficult layup. And that's what I mean. These are low quality shots, but they somehow get them in. Again, this is a getting the rebound, getting a turnover, run the whole field, make ridiculous layups. That's kind of the story of Arizona State's game. Get the defensive foul for the and one. Evans again, just running right past, making some ridiculous layup. Now, they also did a lot of turnovers. I pointed out that though they had similar turnovers and similar amount of steals to Arizona State, Kansas. Arizona State made the most of the steals they made, and they resulted in really good point opportunities. So Kansas with the ball, again using speed, just run down the floor, making the most of these transition opportunities. So again, that was Trey Holder, 22 points per game. Again, Remy with the steal, running the length of the court for a layup. Just want to go back as the organizer started. Again, using speed, taps it out. Trey with the ball. And gets the easy, draws the defensive foul. So again, another turnover. And another easy layup. So it's just Arizona State using that speed of transition to get easy layups of Kansas turnovers really made a difference in the game. So here's another one. Turnover, run the field, open shooter, Remy in the corner. Oh, sorry, that's Trey in the corner. Easy three. So, I mean, you can tell by the amount of examples I've got. That one started at the end, so I'm just going back to the start. That how much of an effect this played in the game. Easy layup for Remy again, so big factor in the game. So they also use their speed to collapse the defense and find easy open three-point shooters. So again, this is Trey. Again, speed. So he gets in. Everyone in Kansas crowds the rim. Easy open three-point shooter. The pump fake. Oh my goodness. Ignore the update. Again, we've got Trey. Collapse the defense, surrounded by players, finds the open three-point shooter, smashes it. So that was all of the Arizona stuff I've got. Again, it was just speed, making the most of turnovers, using sets that require screens that bring the forwards out to create easy layups for their smaller players. Now we've got Kansas. So Kansas is more of a, they run far more like half-court sets, far more organized kind of team, but they miss a lot of open shots. Their best player by far is number 4, Devontae Graham. At the time of recording this, he's 18 points per game with 8 assists per game, and that assist number is really evident when you watch film of him. And so this is why it's called shift change. It's just one of their sets. They use a series of screens from, oh god, I'm just pausing it here. I can't pronounce this guy's name. I've written it down. Number 35, Aduka Azukabi. But he's one of their big centers from Africa. And in this set, he sets a series of screens. Sets screens, 4 screeners, create an open three-point shot there from number 10, but it's not open. And eventually gets the easy dunk. Same exact play, screen for the shooter, number 10 is not open, gives it back, finds number 2, the Gerald Vick in the corner, who's a 44 three-point shooter, 44% three-point shooter, and he knocks it down the easy 3. Again, Number 35, I'm just going slow motion here. Sets another screen for number 10, while number 2 sets a screen for number 14. Number 10's possibly got an open shot, but it's closed. So passes it off to 4. Devonte Graham. Number 35, I'm not going to attempt saying his name again, sets another screen. Number 4 collapses the defense, finds the open three-point shooter. He knocks it down. Now they ran the same play, except this time they would, because I just want to go back for this, that last clip of the, there we go there. So I'm just going to go to the end here. I just want to point out where number 2 is. Number 2, Lajerwood Vic. He's on the corner here. And they use that, and he uses this positioning when they run this set again multiple times to get easy alley-oops. So it's certainly a variation of the same set, but it results in an easy layup or slash dunk. So here we've got a very similar looking set with number 35 about to set a screen, but this time number 2 comes out of nowhere for the easy layup. So if you just watch where number 2 is on the right hand side of the court, goes in, easy layup. Now they ran this multiple times and it worked multiple times. So again, screen by number 35, number 2, easy layup. They really bring the Arizona forwards out with these high screens, or the screens to bring by number 35. That creates space behind the defense for easy layups. They also did set a number of high screens, mainly with number 44, Mitch Lightfoot. And that allows either Graham or Vic, so number 2 or number 4, to collapse the defense and find shooters, or draw in defenders for them to go around themselves. So here number 44 comes out after a few just passes around the perimeter. And by going back in, he creates an open three-point shooter on the side. So I'm just going to go back to that one, replay it. Number 44 comes out. And by rolling to the basket there, he's brought in that Arizona State defender who's no longer defending that wing, number 2. And now because of that, he gets an open three-point shot, which he nails. Same thing, some passes around the perimeter. Number 44 comes out, sets a screen. Devonte Graham collapses the defense for an open three-point shot, which number 14, Malik Newman, nails. Same thing. Number 44 comes out. Devonte Graham collapses the defense, finds an open three-point shooter, Malik Newman, who misses the three-point shot. Now, Devonte Graham, I talked before about his assists, and I also talked earlier in this video about how many open shots they had on the the left corner, and this is really going to show that. So those kind of shots, those open left-hand corner shots, were another really decisive factor in this game on who wins and who loses. Devonte Graham, who was really good with his speed, collapsing the defense, bringing in those wing defenders, and finding the open man on the wing, and Kansas just couldn't nail the shots. This one we've got on the right-hand corner, again, collapses the defense, open three-point shot, can't make it. Collapse the defense, open left-hand corner shot, Malik Newman can't make it. Again, Devonte Graham collapses the defense, opens shot, doesn't make it. Left-hand corner, you'll never guess what happens next. Sorry, I'm just going to replay that because it started. Devonte Graham collapsing the defense, finds open shooter, left-hand corner, and you'll never guess what happens, he misses. So that was a really decisive factor. Devonte Graham really did everything he could. He could have had, heaps of assists in this game by just those last 4 clips, as you would have seen, but they just didn't nail the shots for him. So stories for this game: Arizona State really quick, really fast, really good at making points off turnovers. Kansas, on the other hand, just couldn't nail their shots. They had when they were really good in a half-court offense, when they really went into their sets, created some good opportunities for alley-oops and things like that, but yeah, just couldn't get it done. So victory to Arizona State. surprise season. Good win away at Kansas. So that's all from me. Bye.